Common Yoga Protocol. Welcome and good morning to our session on yoga for the Common celebrating International Yoga Day, sponsored by the Consulate General of India in Chicago and the Art of Living Foundation. I'm so glad that you've joined today. And so what I'd like to do is to start with Om 3 times and then a prayer. So let's take a deep breath in. Om. Deep breath in. Om. Deep breath in. And just notice the effect of the Om on your body, your mind, and your environment. Om is such a beautiful sound. It brings us home to ourself. It calms down the mind. And I'll say a short prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the teachers and student be excellent. May we enjoy together the fruits of our efforts. May we both be strong in body and mind, and may there be no hatred between us. Peace, Om, peace, peace, peace. So we'll do our part of the Common Yoga Protocol today. And yeah, it's been so nice to celebrate yoga. There's so many benefits to yoga. It centers the mind, it calms us down. So many health benefits for our body. It helps us be flexible. It helps us be strong. It's good for our bones. It's good for our circulation. It stimulates all the organs and all the systems that we have, our nervous system, our cardiovascular system, our digestive system, our skeletal system. So it's good for everything. And it helps bring our mind, body, breath, and soul together. It joins everything with our soul. So it's good on so many different levels. So, so what I'd like to do today is let's slowly come to our feet. And before you round up, just let your head hang down a little bit and we'll stretch and slowly roll up. This is so good for our nerves. All our nerves pass through our spine, so slowly rounding up gently stimulates them. And roll out your shoulders. Let's have our feet pointing forward, hip distance apart. And let's continue with some shoulder rolls. And let's reverse. I'll adjust my screen. so you can see my head. Great. And now let's take our hands, put them on the shoulders, elbows together, and we'll do some more shoulder rolls involving our shoulder blades, squeezing them together as you come back. One more. And now let's reverse. One more. And relax down. And now let's do our neck. Let's bring our chin to our chest. Inhaling up and back. Shoulders are down, shoulder blades together. Chin to our chest again. Inhaling up and back without straining. Inhaling up and down again. Inhale up to center. And now let's bring our chin to our right shoulder. Breathing here. You can use your Ujjayi breath if you know it, or a normal breath is just fine. Shoulders are back and down. Inhale to center. Exhale to your left shoulder. Weight is equally distributed on both feet. Inhale back to center. And exhale to your right shoulder again. Standing tall. Your abdomen is tucked in. Your hips are tucked under. When your abs are in, inhale back to your left shoulder. When your abs are tight, you're supporting your lower back. Inhale back to center, right ear to right shoulder, left arm out at a right angle, 45-degree angle, and your right hand on your head. Gentle stretch. This is just so good for our shoulders. We spend so much time with our shoulders and neck in uncomfortable positions, looking at our phone or computer. It's so good to stretch them out. And now let's look at our right armpit. Change your hand so your head is pointing down and to the right. Also standing tall. And release your hand and arm. And let your head fall down to the center. And now let's inhale up, left ear to left shoulder, and your right arm out. Hand is flexed. Hand on your head, gentle stretch. Keep breathing here. You can do this anytime during the day, even if you're sitting down, except if you're driving, of course. And now let's look at our left armpit. And gently release your arms. Chin comes to the chest. And let's do some neck rolls. Being aware of every point in the circle. When our attention is on our body and our breath, it brings our mind to the present moment. And let's reverse. Generally, our mind is swinging between the past and the future, and that causes stress to the system. So having our attention on the breath and the body is so nurturing. And finishing this round, And let's bring our head, inhaling back up to center. And let's do some hip rotations. Feet are pointing forward, and let's exaggerate the movement. And back to center and reverse. Keep your knees loose, not tight, not locked. And back to center. Let's bring our feet together and bend your knees, hands on your thighs without any weight, and we'll do knee rotations. This is good for our ankles and for our hips. Waking up our muscles and reverse. And back up to center. And let's start to march or jog. And let's have our hands forward and we'll do some wrist rotations. And reverse. Warming up our body. Shake out your hands. Shake out your arms. Shake any way your body wants to. And now let's come back to center and let's swing and bend your knees and lift the opposite leg. Stretching out the oblique muscles is important. If we don't warm up, we have an injury. We don't want that. We want to just stretch and relax down and fix your mat if you need to. And now what we'll do is we'll do some, we'll do Kati Chakrasana, which is the a trunk movement, torso movement. Feet are hip distance. Feet are pointing towards the screen. Arms inhaling, come halfway up. And we're going to keep our hips here, straight. Lock them here. And now let's hold on to a box of something precious. And we'll just move our torso to the right, looking over our right shoulder. Keep your hips together. Weight is equally balanced on both feet. Take a deep breath in. Release your hips now and twist. Standing tall. Inhale back to center. And exhale, locking your hips again. To the left, looking over your left shoulder. Standing tall, tummy's tucked. Hips are tucked under. Don't drop your box. And now release your hips to the left. Standing tall. Keep breathing. Inhale back to center and relax down. And now we'll do the Tadasana, the mountain pose. Shoulders back, shoulder blades together. Knees are soft, not locked. Deep breath in, standing very tall. Tummy's tucked, hips tucked under. And now let's interlock our fingers and we're going to flip them up so this part, our palms are facing the ceiling. Arms straight up. Arms are just behind your ears. And now come up on your toes, lifting up. Keep breathing and smiling. We're happy mountains. This posture is so good for all our nerves in our spine, for correcting our posture and helping us with balance. And let's release the arms and come down. And roll out your shoulders. And now we'll make our legs wide. And let's take your right leg and make your foot parallel to the mat. And your hips are going to be parallel to the mat. And your back foot or your left foot is going to come in about 20 degrees. So make your hips parallel to your mat again. And now just slide to the right and push the wall. Relax your hips. Maharishi Patanjali says, Sthiram Sukham Asanam. A pose should be steady and comfortable. So we use our effort to get into the pose and relax. When we relax, that releases tension. And now let's bring our right hand down, facing the screen. Doesn't matter how far it is. We're going to stay parallel to the mat and bring your left arm all the way up without straining. And stretch your arms in opposite directions. Looking up at your left hand, push your left hip back and your right shoulder back without straining. If you notice any little sounds, don't worry. It's just tension being released from your tendons. And now feel like someone's pulling you up. Come up. Bend your right knee, but don't let it go beyond your ankle. Keep your hips parallel to the floor, knee going straight, arms like a T. Open your chest, look over your hand, sit down. This is warrior pose, Virabhadrasana, and we're straight. We're not leaning forward or back or this way or that way, just straight. Warriors are centered. And notice the shift in your consciousness in this posture. You have all the determination and focus of a warrior. And bring your knee floor up. We'll switch our feet. Bring your hips parallel to the mat again. And push the wall. Engage your inner thighs by lifting your toes and then gripping the mat. We're just sliding over to the left. Pushing an imaginary wall. And now let's bring our left hand down with our palm facing the screen and our left arm all the way up. Stretching your arms in opposite directions. Relaxing your lower back. Keep breathing. And lifting your arm up. Now bend your forward knee. Sitting down, bring your hips back so they're parallel to the mat. Arms up like a T again. Tucking your tummy. Lifting and opening up your chest. Don't let your knee go beyond your ankle. Keep breathing. And now inhale up. Bring your toes forward. And if you can, interlock your fingers behind your back and bring your head towards the floor, lifting your arms. Doesn't matter how high the arms go. And now bend your knees and sit. And come up and release your hands. Place them on the mat and bend your knees again. Head comes straight down. And now inhale and let's walk our feet together. And slowly round up. And let's lift our arms all the way up. Have your biceps behind your ears, standing very tall. Inhaling, lift up a little taller without straining. And tuck your tummy and hips. And now let's exhale forward, keeping your arms by your ears. Push your hips back. We'll come all the way down. Feet are facing forward. Hip distance apart. Reaching for the floor. It doesn't matter if you can't touch the floor. Now bring your hands behind your calves, knees, or thighs, and gently pull yourself down a little bit. Your head towards the floor without straining. This is Padahastasana. If you want, you can bend your knees a little bit to come down a little farther. And then straighten your knees, bringing your hips and the backs of your knees up to the ceiling without straining. And now we'll lift our arms forward, pushing your hips back. Inhaling, we'll slowly come up, reaching forward, tucking your tummy, reaching forward, slowly coming up, all the way up, reaching back slightly, and exhaling, arms down. And now let's inhale up, bring your hands halfway up again, and let's have a seat. Stretch your hips back, lengthening your spine. Utkatasana, chair pose. This is so good for strengthening our calves and our thighs, reaching back, hips back, reaching forward, lengthening your spine and neck. Come down more and more. Stay here. Gripping the mat with your toes engages your inner thighs. Come down a little more, 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 all the way down. And now let's put the soles of our feet together, Baddha Konasana, and let's flap our butterfly wings, stretching out those inner thighs and hips, thighs, sitting tall, bringing your heels as close to you as you can without straining. And let's just stop our butterfly wings, close your eyes, attention directed inwards, being very still, and noticing how this posture brings stillness also to the mind. And let's relax, and we'll shake out our legs. And let's do some ankle rotations and reverse. And let's do a seated twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. So you can keep your right leg straight, go to the side. And take your left foot and either keep it here or you can put it on the outside of your right leg. And then let's twist to the right. Actually, let's twist to the left. Bring your left hand behind you and your right hand on the outside of the leg, twisting around, flexing your right foot, and inhaling back to center. And let's reverse. Take your right foot on the outside of the left leg and your right arm behind you. Left hand comes outside of that leg and twist. And now let's come back to center. Let's come onto our tummies. And let's have your hands alongside your body, palms facing up. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift your right leg. Doesn't matter how high, few inches is great. Lengthening your leg and your spine. This is Ardha Shalabhasana. It's great for strengthening the lower back and your legs, both thighs in front and back, and your hips. Relax down, deep breath in. Exhaling, lift your left leg up, lengthening your spine and your leg. Chin is on the mat. Arms are relaxed. Lengthening your leg and your spine. And relax. Let's make fists with our hands and put them in underneath our pelvis. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling, let's lift both legs, lengthening legs and spine. This is Shalabhasana. Great for lower back. for strengthening it. And your hips. Keep breathing. And relax down. And let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Legs are together. Shoulders down. Shoulder blades together. Inhale up into Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. Abdomen stays on the floor. Elbows tied into the ribs. Looking up. Keep breathing. Bring your elbows towards the floor. And exhaling down. And let's come onto our backs. And let's bend our knees. Have your knees in the air and your heels are hip distance apart and close to the hips. And palms are face down alongside the body. Take a deep breath in. And let's let our knees fall to the left. And our arms will come out like a T. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. If you want a deeper stretch, bring your right heel closer to your hip and your left foot on your right knee. Natarajasana becomes Dakshinamurti Asana. Keep breathing. And let's release. Inhaling, lift your knees up. Exhaling, let your knees fall to the other side. Keep breathing. This is so good for stretching out our hips and also our thighs. And now release your legs. Bring your knees back up to the, just pointed up, and bring your heels close to your hips, hip distance apart. We'll do Setu Bandhasana or the bridge pose. Hands are flat on the floor, face down. Tuck your tummy and keep the natural curvature of your spine and your lower back. And lift up your hips. You can either have your hands alongside your feet, holding onto your ankles, or your hands can be behind you. Weight is on your shoulders and your feet. Or you can bring your hands underneath you, clasped, lifting up. Keep your tummy tucked. That protects your lower back. Keep breathing here. Don't let your knees come in, they stay straight. And release your hands and your hips. And now let's bring our knees into our chest and grab onto both knees. Bring your chin to your chest. Pavamuktasana. This is so good for releasing any gases in the system. It's also good for releasing tension in the lower back. And it's also good because we're squeezing out all of the fluids from our internal organs. And we'll keep our arms here for a minute, but when we release, then all fresh liquids will come into our internal organs. So it's good for those of us who have diabetes. It also stimulates the pancreas, liver, and let's release. And we'll bring our feet to the mat and stretch our feet out, toes pointing outwards, hands face up alongside our body, Shavasana. Bring your shoulders down. Take a deep breath in and let's hum 5 times. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Notice the effect of this humming on your body and mind. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And take your attention to your right foot, right knee, thigh, and hip, the whole of the right leg. Deep breath in and let it go. Take your attention to your left foot, left knee, thigh, and hip, the whole of the right leg, the left leg. Deep breath in and let it go. Take your attention to your abdomen, stomach, and chest. Deep breath in and relax and let go. Take your attention to your shoulders, right arm and left arm, throat and neck, face and head, to the whole body. Deep breath in and relax and let go. And another deep breath in and relax and let go. Just checking out the time. And now, in your own time, you can roll to your right side. And slowly and gradually, you can come back to a seated position. And slowly and gradually, you can open the eyes. I hope you're feeling relaxed and your body feels more loose. You know, with yoga, we do it at our own pace. We accept and love our body, honor our body the way that it is. And it gets more flexible over time if we practice regularly. So I encourage you to take these postures, use them. You can go on the website of the Consulate General of India and find the Common Yoga Protocol. And I think we'll be continuing some sessions even after this week. So you can practice with us. And we're so glad that you joined us today. Um, I'd like to teach you a breathing technique that you can use. And I think I'll teach you Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath is a wonderful technique that you can use anytime. You can even use it before sleep if you only do it 10 times. And it's just making a sound in the back of the throat. It's you're already an expert with this breath because this is a sound the that we make every night before we start to snore. But we'll be doing this consciously. So what we do, it sounds like this in an exaggerated way. And normally, after you learned it, it sounds like this. So it's very subtle. And so how we learn it is we whisper high. So whisper high, 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 high. And now close your mouth and say high. And now breathe in there with your mouth closed. And that same spot in your throat when you were saying high, high. You feel it? And now breathe in that same spot with your mouth closed. And breathe out there. And now relax the tension in your throat. So it's more like a feather, the breath, instead of like sandpaper. And close your eyes. And lengthen the breath on the inhale and exhale. And relax the breath, keeping your eyes closed. Just notice what's the effect of this breath on your mind and body. And slowly open the eyes. Did you notice that the breath calms down the mind and the body gets more relaxed? Yeah, that's the effect of Ujjayi. It means victory, victory over all the negative emotions. So you can use it all day. And thank you so much for joining today. And yeah, happy International Yoga Week. Namaste. And you can use your Ujjayi breath 5 times before you sleep, 10 times, no more. Okay, see you next time. Namaste.